Here we have Mike Sommerfeld 2024 versus 2025. Now, I was surprised, to be honest with you, when I was setting this one up. I expected a dominance from 2024, the likes of which that I've never seen before. But the fact is, well, I guess it's not a fact, these are just pictures, but from what I can tell, he's just a little bit bigger, but more conditioned this year because he was forced to deplete down even further. You guys know what I mean? What I'm talking about? He didn't make height. He was supposedly 5'9" last year, and he extended his neck out, and he prepared to be taller. And I know you guys are shaking your head, but hey, I don't know anything about it. Maybe they can. I'm not going to say they can if I don't know that they can't. Maybe they can extend their height, and that extends their body weight. But like I said, all I see here, I apologize, is a little bit of water on his physique last year, and I expected him to be bigger and better. Sometimes when you deplete too much, you get flat, flavorless. Your muscles have no pop, no zing. But it seems like he has a lot of wow in the 2025 version. Look at the lats. I mean, detail in the quads. Sure, in a lineup, we can use that extra size, but he does actually look more detailed. And that's why I haven't seen too many comparisons, if any, between these two versions. I think people are afraid. They expected him to be so much better last year. Maybe it was just Ramon Dino who was a lot better. Now go to the front lat spread. Again, I see much more pop and wow in those lats for 2025, and more detail in the quads. So I mean, at this point, you can keep that at a little extra size. When I say extra size, in the back of my head I hear the word Oscar sized. You know what that means? When everybody doesn't like you and they point their finger at you and you can't even hang around anymore. So they're all pointing at you, saying, it's him, it's him. That's Oscar sized, I think. Anyway, maybe you can correct me in the comment section below. Mike's not Oscar sized. Unless he claims 5'10". If he claims 5'10", I mean, he's got to back away from this sport. So yes, a very lackluster comparison where I actually prefer this year over last year. Interesting. Here is the turn to the side, and I'm left with the same conclusion here. He just depleted a little bit more. He was fine last year. I think he patted his hair up, didn't he, or something? And if you are watching this, I apologize. I'm just trying to get a little laugh out of you, is all. I know you didn't pad your hair, but anyway, he probably padded his hair up. Just jam-packed it with gel, hairspray, and mousse, probably the trifecta. They probably lowered the thing down on his head, and it hit, and he looked back. 5'9.5", Sommerfeld, you magnificent bastard, he probably thought to himself. So yeah, he was allowed more weight, so he just cushioned it up, little layer of water. But from what I remember, he was pretty shredded last year. But take a look, folks. I allow you to take this second to have a look, and he does look more shredded. 2025, just this year. So I don't get it. And then we turn around for the back shots, and it all makes sense. You see, back in the 90s, they depleted too. They did the same thing, and their fronts were just ectoskeletons. Abs looked better, but from behind they looked a little flat, flavorless. You gotta jam them carbs up. Maybe the carbs take a choo-choo train to your back, and look at how hard and grainy he looks. He looks more conditioned. The thicker lats. He is leaning back a little bit, but, aside from that, you can definitely see muscle fibers all over the back, and then in the lower half as well. I believe this Mike Sommerfeld, he is a little bit better in 2024. So an interesting situation, for sure. Here is the back double biceps, same thing. Look at the traps and the lats last year. He was 10 times better. So slightly better in the front, and that just goes to show all you classic physique division competitors, when you deplete too much to get that shredded front, maybe it affects the back hard crispness, the crispness of his back. Because it's not that his back is petite by any means. You could easily see from the front that his lats were a little bit wider. So I think he did train his back to be bigger and better, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. Does not translate. Does not translate. Holding his legs a little bit different too, I have to say. In the rear double, they almost look bigger this year. So anyway, folks, a little lackluster. Not these big before and afters that you're probably accustomed to. Brandon Curry, 2016 versus 17. What a difference there. Talk about wow. But Mike Sommerfeld, not much. Not much. A little more conditioning, maybe a little less size. Maybe. I don't know. Lats look bigger this year. And one thing that I did notice, his vacuum pose. He's pulling more vacuums last year. He was not pulling the vacuum shot as much this year. So if you did notice that, give yourself a little gold star. Give yourself a little scratch and sniff sticker. And scratch away and smell away. Hit thumbs up on the video. Subscribe. Have a nice one, folks.